Welcome to Heaven Voice Today, where the voice of God meets your heart. Every day we bring you powerful gospel reflections, divine messages, and heartfelt stories of faith, hope, and healing. This is not just another Christian channel. This is a sacred space where Jesus Christ speaks to you, personally. If you're looking for guidance, encouragement, or a deeper connection with God's Word, you're in the right place. Let His voice lift you, comfort you, and lead you into His peace. Subscribe now and let heaven speak into your life today. My dear child, before anything else, I want you to take a moment and breathe deeply. Feel the air filling your lungs, the rise and fall of your chest with each inhale and exhale. This simple act is not just a reflex, it is sacred. It is a reminder that you are alive, that I am here with you, and that there is still hope within you. Today is a day of great significance, a day that the world commemorates as a symbol of redemption and new beginnings. But for me, this day holds so much more than just historical remembrance. It is a declaration, a beckoning, a gentle whisper to your soul. It is a holy interruption to the numbness, the settling, the shrinking within you. There may have been moments in your life when you felt like a part of you had died, times when disappointment, silence, and the harsh realities of life threatened to extinguish your faith, joy, and hope. Perhaps you have learned to navigate through life in a state of spiritual slumber, maintaining a facade of strength while your heart silently withered away. But I want to remind you that this is not your destiny. This is not who you are meant to be. I conquered death so that you would never have to live as though you are merely existing, as though your spirit is slowly fading away. When I rose from the grave, I called out to everything within you to rise as well. You are not reading these words by chance. You are here because my Spirit has guided you. I have been whispering to your soul, drawing you closer to me even when you were unaware of it. In this very moment, I am stirring what you have buried deep within. I am awakening what you have silenced. I am reminding you that there is still so much more in store for you. You have been going through the motions, putting on a brave face even when you were broken inside. You have been moving forward, even as your spirit felt paralyzed. I have seen your struggles, your pain, your perseverance, and I am here to call you back to life. I did not endure the cross so that you could merely survive pain without ever truly healing. I did not rise from the grave to make a mark in history. I did it so that you too could emerge from the darkness, free from guilt, fear, and the cycle of almost but never quite. You are not meant to remain in the tomb of disappointment, to grow accustomed to emptiness. You were created to rise, to soar, to embrace the fullness of life that awaits you. I know you are weary. You have carried burdens that no one else could see. You have remained faithful in the face of adversity, offering prayers that seem to go unanswered. But hear me now, the pull you have been feeling, the stirring in your soul, that is not by chance. That is me calling out to you, beckoning you to step into the newness of life that I have prepared for you. You were not meant to linger in despair. You were created to be made new. So take a deep breath, my child. Feel the life-giving air filling your lungs. Breathe in hope. Exhale fear. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are loved beyond measure. Rise up, for your time of awakening has come. And you've wondered, God, do you still want to use me? Do you still see me? Am I still chosen? You've asked these questions in moments of doubt and struggle, when it feels like the weight of the world is bearing down on you. But let me assure you, my child, that I hear you. I see you, and I have never stopped choosing you. There have been times when you felt like you had strayed too far, when you questioned whether you were still worthy of my love and grace. But let me remind you that my love for you is unwavering. I have never changed my mind about you, no matter how far you've wandered or how many mistakes you've made. I have been with you through it all, even when you couldn't feel my presence or when you doubted my existence. I have been there in the moments of despair, when you cried out for a sign of hope, and I have never turned away from you, even when you turned away from me. I came not just for the perfect, the righteous, and the strong. I came for the broken, the weary, and the lost. I came for those who have been through the fire and still long to believe in something greater than themselves. I came for you. Today, on this Resurrection Sunday, I call out to you with the full authority of heaven. Get up, not in your own strength, but in mine. Get up, not because the burden has lifted, but because my Spirit is lifting you up. Get up, not because you feel ready, but because I am calling you out of the darkness and into the light. This is not the end of your story. This is not a continuation of defeat. This is the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter of redemption and restoration. I am not asking you to have all the answers or to figure it all out. I am simply asking you to respond, to breathe again, to let your soul declare, yes, I hear you, I'm ready to rise. I see the weight you carry. Not just the physical burdens that others can see, but the deep hidden struggles that weigh on your heart and soul. I see the doubts, the regrets, the pain that you carry inside. And yet, I still choose you. I still want you. I am drawn to your honesty, your vulnerability, your willingness to bring me your brokenness and your pain. So come out of the grave of your past. Come out of the shame, the guilt, the regret. Come out and walk into the new life that I have prepared for you. The stone has been rolled away, the grave is empty, and I am still speaking. I rose so that you could rise. Embrace this moment of awakening, of resurrection, of new life. You are my beloved child, and you are deeply loved. There are various voices that we hear in our heads, some subtle, some loud, some even spiritual in tone. These voices often tell us that we need to earn our place in the presence of something greater than ourselves. They say that we must be more disciplined, more clean, more pure, more consistent before we can be used again. But what if I told you that perfection was never a requirement to begin with? Think about Peter, who was called to lead even before he became consistent in his actions. Or Mary Magdalene, who was invited to follow without having to be free of her past. The truth is, you don't have to be perfect before you can be called. You don't have to wait until you have it all together to come back to the place of honest communion. You see, there is a part of you that doesn't need to impress anyone, not even the divine. It's the part of you that simply believes in love, even in the midst of your mess. That part of you is still there waiting to be awakened, not to remind you of your failures, but to remind you of how deeply you are loved and desired. You may have tried to find healing in self-improvement, in control, in performance, but what you truly need is presence, the presence of the divine. It's not about trying harder or fixing yourself before you can come close. It's about surrendering and allowing yourself to be in the presence of love, of grace, of peace. You don't have to earn rest or peace, it's already yours, waiting for you to come back into stillness, into release. You were never meant to navigate life's challenges alone. Let go of the burden you've been carrying and allow the divine to carry it for you. Trust in the process, in the journey, in the love that never judges or condemns. Even if you feel like your heart isn't fully back yet, your hunger for something greater is enough. That small flicker of faith inside of you is all that is needed to start anew. Let the divine breathe on that tiny whisper of faith and watch it grow into a flame of hope and renewal. Come back, not to fear or guilt, but to love. The kind of love that knows your name, your scars, your deepest longings, and still calls you beautiful. The safest place you will ever return to is in the arms of the divine, where you are accepted, embraced, and cherished. Let me come to you where you are, not where you feel you should be. You have always been deserving of love, not because you have earned it, but because love is what I am made of. I do not dole out love in pieces. I give it freely, abundantly, and unconditionally. This love has never wavered, even when you felt far from me, when you questioned my presence, or when you thought I had turned away. I have been by your side every step of the way, patiently waiting for the moment when you would return. My desire is not to scold you or to remind you of your mistakes, but to restore you and remind you of the incredible person you are in my eyes. So take a deep breath, release the burdens that weigh you down, and let go of the fears that tell you that you are not enough. I have brought you up so that you may rise above your struggles and come back to where you belong. My child, let us talk about the pain that has lingered in the depths of your heart. I do not mean just the superficial wounds or the experiences you have learned to brush off with a laugh. I want us to delve into the real pain, the moments when you felt like your prayers went unanswered, the times when you felt utterly alone in your suffering. You have shown immense strength in weathering storms that could have easily overwhelmed you. But now is the time to move beyond survival. I want to reveal to you the purpose behind all the pain you have endured and why I never abandoned you. You have questioned why certain things happened, why I did not intervene, but every trial you faced had a greater meaning. I do not cause all things, but I work through all things. Pain may be a harsh teacher when you are isolated, but you were never alone in your struggles. Even during the moments when my presence seemed distant, I was performing a deeper work within you. I was stripping away layers of false identity, removing the parts of you that were never meant to define you. Some of the deepest wounds you carry were not inflicted by external circumstances, but by the lies those experiences whispered to you about your worth. Betrayal made you feel unwanted. Silence made you feel forgotten. Delay made you feel unchosen. But those were not my words. They were never in alignment with my truth. Now is the time for those lies to be dismantled, for your pain to no longer hold power over you. Your suffering was never meant to be a punishment, but rather a tool for growth and transformation. The closed doors and perceived rejections were my way of safeguarding you from potential harm, from relationships that could have hindered your calling, from paths that would have led you astray. Trust that I saw the bigger picture, even when you could not, and that every trial was a step towards refining and strengthening you. You may have seen your pain as a roadblock, but I saw it as a pathway to clarity and empowerment. Embrace the healing that comes from exposing your vulnerabilities, and allow me to lead you to a place of true freedom and wholeness. Remember, your pain does not define you. It refines you and prepares you for the incredible journey that lies ahead. And I knew they'd slowly pull you away from the very place I designed for you to flourish. So I allowed the delay. I allowed the silence not to break you, but to build something in you that would last. There are some lessons only learned in the dark. There is a kind of maturity that doesn't come from books or sermons or even miracles. It comes from pain, from persistence, from the quiet faith that keeps showing up even when the heavens feel closed. That's what I've been shaping in you. Not a shallow kind of faith that disappears in disappointment, but a rooted faith. One that knows I'm good even when I'm quiet. One that chooses to stay near even when I seem far. One that refuses to let go just because the process is uncomfortable. And child, you passed that test. Even when you doubted, you stayed. Even when you questioned, you kept talking to me. Even if the words were angry or tear-filled or barely formed, that counts more than you know. I never needed your strength. I never asked for perfection. I only asked that you don't run away. And you didn't. You're still here, and that to me is worship. That is victory. That is beauty. What you carry now is different. You may not feel it yet, but your heart has been recalibrated. Your ears have been trained to listen deeper. Your eyes are starting to see beyond the surface. This is the fruit of pain, not just endurance, but discernment. And it will serve you in the conversations ahead, in the decisions you're about to make, in the people you will soon encounter who carry the same wounds you've survived. You will not just be healed, you will be a healing presence to others. Because resurrection isn't just about you getting up, it's about bringing others with you. I let it hurt so I could show you what real healing looks like. Not the kind that hides behind false strength, but the kind that stands whole and honest with scars that speak of grace. You don't have to be afraid of remembering. You don't have to erase your history. I'm going to use it. I'm going to turn it into a well others can draw from. I'm going to make your past a platform, not to glorify the pain, but to reveal the glory that came from it. Let this be the moment you stop resenting the process. Let this be the day you look back at the long road and see purpose written in the dirt behind you. I've been writing this with care. You haven't been lost. You've been led. Every detour, every delay, every unanswered prayer, I was in it. And now, the same voice that let you walk through the valley is the voice that's calling you out. The same hand that allowed the pruning is the hand lifting you to the surface. I'm not done. The pain was not the end. It was preparation for resurrection, life. So lift your head, not in denial of what you walked through, but in honor of what I've done in you through it. You are not the same. You are not fragile. You are not who you were before the pain. And the strength in you now is not self-made. It's spirit-formed. In life, there are often moments of struggle and pain that shape us into who we are meant to become. These experiences may seem dark and difficult at the time, but they serve a greater purpose in refining our character and deepening our faith. Just like a seed needs time in the darkness of the soil to grow into a strong tree, we too need moments of darkness to build resilience and strength. When we face challenges and uncertainties, it is easy to lose sight of the bigger picture and feel lost. But in those moments, it is important to remember that we are being led, not abandoned. Each setback, each unanswered prayer, is part of a larger plan that is guiding us towards growth and transformation. The process of healing and growth is not always easy or straightforward. It requires us to confront our fears, doubts, and insecurities, and to trust in the unseen hand that is guiding us forward. It is through these struggles that we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and our purpose in the world. As we emerge from the darkness, we are not the same people we once were. We have been shaped and molded by our experiences, and we carry within us a new sense of purpose and strength. We are no longer defined by our pain, but by the resilience and grace that has carried us through it. So, let us embrace the journey we have been on, with all its twists and turns, knowing that each step has been carefully orchestrated to lead us towards a brighter future. Let us hold on to the lessons we have learned in the darkness and use them to guide us as we move forward with courage and conviction. And that kind of strength will carry you into the fulfillment of every promise I made. My child, now that you've let me into the pain, now that you've allowed me to speak to the places you once tried to forget, I want to begin showing you what's been happening in the silence. You've walked through your own Friday. You've waited in your Saturday, but now it's Sunday in your story. And I want you to understand something clearly. Resurrection is not just a historical event. It's a present reality, and it has already started moving in your life. You may not have noticed yet because you've been trained to look for signs in big moments, in obvious breakthroughs, in doors that swing open with noise and light. But I do some of my greatest work in stillness. I build in shadows. I unfold destiny in layers. What you call nothing happening has actually been the precise unfolding of my plan. I never stopped moving. You just stopped recognizing the form. Look again. What has shifted? That conversation you thought was casual. I was in it. That random message you received at just the right moment. That was me speaking through someone who didn't even know why they reached out. That dream you couldn't shake. That scripture you kept hearing from different directions. That inner sense that something's about to change. These aren't coincidences. These are confirmations. The signs are already there. Not dramatic, but divine. Not loud, but deeply alive. I need you to become more sensitive again. Not to emotion, but to alignment. I'm aligning people, timelines, relationships, and opportunities around you. You're about to walk into moments where everything will click into place, and it will seem sudden on the surface. But I want you to know nothing about it is sudden to me. I've been orchestrating this all along. Do you remember what I promised? Maybe you've buried it. Maybe time and disappointment made you shove the word I gave you, but I didn't forget. My promises are not fragile. They don't weaken when the wait gets long. They don't dissolve in delay. They are still alive, still active, still backed by the full authority of heaven. And now that I've done the work in your heart, you're finally ready to receive what I've always intended to give. Not as a bandage, but as fulfillment. Not to prove anything to anyone, but to prove to you that I'm faithful to my word. There are doors opening in this season, some you've prayed for, others you never expected. But when they open, don't question your worth. Don't sabotage the blessing because of past wounds. You are not the person you were when the door last closed. This time, you'll walk through it differently, with wisdom, with confidence, with peace. You'll stop explaining yourself. You'll stop shrinking to be palatable. You'll carry yourself like someone who knows this was promised and you were made for it. But I also need you to listen. Not every open door is mine, and not every delay is the enemy. This is why you must stay sensitive. Let my peace be your compass. Pay attention to the signs I'm sending your way. Be open to the unexpected blessings that may come your way. Trust in my plan for you, for it is greater than you can imagine. Keep the faith and remain aligned with my will, for I am guiding you towards the fulfillment of my promises in your life. Let stillness be your confirmation. I'm not going to lead you through pressure. I'm going to lead you through presence. And when my presence rests on something, it won't feel like striving. It will feel like ease, clarity, joy, even if it comes with resistance on the outside. I'm also bringing divine reconnections. Some relationships will come back into your life, not as a return to the past, but as a fulfillment of what I began long ago. Others will fade, and that too will be my mercy. Don't grieve what I remove. Don't chase what I release. Trust me. I see what you don't. I hear conversations you're not in. I know motives that are hidden. I'm not being cruel. I'm being careful, because what I'm about to place in your hands requires a protected environment. I'm not just thinking of your comfort. I'm thinking of your calling. And yes, there are surprises ahead. Things you stopped believing for because it hurt too much to hope. I saw you close those doors in your heart. I saw you tell yourself it was better not to expect. But I never stopped expecting. I held those promises in place even when you stopped praying about them. And now I'm reactivating them. You don't need to force it. Just stay open. I'll show you when. I'll show you how. But know this. Some of the things you let die will live again. And this time they will live fully. This is not just the season of answered prayer. It is the season of surprising fulfillment. Fulfillment that feels too personal to explain. Fulfillment that brings tears before words. Fulfillment that speaks louder than your testimony. I'm going to show you that I saw every detail. That I was listening even when you went quiet. That nothing was wasted, and that resurrection is not a metaphor in your life. It's your reality. So stay near, stay soft, watch for me in the details. I will not send lightning. I will send moments, and those moments will change everything. You've stepped into the season where the grave no longer has power over your process. You're not coming out in pieces. You're coming out with purpose. You're not just alive, you're aligned now. Get ready. What I've prepared is already on its way to meet you. My child, resurrection is not a feeling. It's a way of life. It is not meant to be a moment you visit emotionally and then drift from slowly. It is meant to become your rhythm, your response, your foundation. I did not raise you just to stir your spirit for a day. I raised you so you would walk different, think different, respond different. This is not a call to try harder. It is an invitation to live from what I've already done. You have stepped into a new place. But if you carry the old mindset, the old pace, and the old habits, you'll miss the fruit of what I've unlocked. So now let me show you how to live resurrected. How to wake up and recognize that my spirit isn't something you seek occasionally. It's something you carry. You are now a dwelling place. And how you live from that reality will shape your next season. Start with your mornings. Let the stillness that envelops you serve as a reassuring affirmation. Trust in my guidance, for I will not usher you through a path of pressure, but rather one filled with my presence. When I bestow my presence upon something, it will not feel like a constant struggle. Rather, it will exude a sense of ease, clarity, and joy, even in the face of external resistance. I am orchestrating divine reconnections in your life. Some relationships will resurface not to revisit the past, but to fulfill what I had set in motion long ago. On the contrary, certain connections will fade away, and this too shall be seen as an act of my grace. Do not mourn over what I remove, nor yearn for what I release. Have faith in me, for I perceive what lies beyond your sight. I am privy to conversations in which you play no part, and I discern motives that remain concealed. My actions are not fueled by cruelty, but by caution. The endeavors I am about to entrust you with necessitate a shielded environment. I am not solely concerned with your comfort. I am focused on nurturing your calling. Brace yourself, for there are surprises lying ahead, opportunities you had ceased to believe in due to the pain of hope. I bore witness to you closing the doors of your heart, convincing yourself that it was wiser not to anticipate. Yet my anticipation never wavered. I held steadfast to my promises even as you ceased to pray for them. And now, I am rekindling those promises. There is no need to exert yourself. Simply remain receptive. I will reveal the timing and the means. Be aware that some of the aspirations you deemed lost will be resurrected. This time, they will flourish in their entirety. This phase is not merely about answered prayers. It is about unforeseen fulfillment. A fulfillment so intimate that words fail to capture its essence, prompting tears of gratitude. This profound fulfillment will bear more weight than your testimonies. I am here to demonstrate that I have meticulously observed every detail. Even when you withdrew into silence, nothing was in vain. Resurrection is not a mere metaphor in your life. It is your reality. Stay close, stay gentle, and keep an eye out for my presence in the minutiae. I will not herald my arrival with thunderous declarations. Instead, I will manifest through moments, and those moments will revolutionize everything. You have entered a phase where the shackles of the past no longer dictate your journey. You will not emerge fragmented. You will arise with purpose. You are no longer merely breathing. You are now aligned. Prepare yourself, for what I have prepared for you is already on its way. My child, remember, resurrection is not a fleeting emotion. It is a lifestyle. It is not meant to be a temporary surge of spiritual fervor. It is meant to become your natural rhythm, your instinctive response, your core foundation. I did not resurrect you to stir your soul momentarily. I resurrected you to live differently, to think differently, to act differently. This is not a call to exert yourself further. It is an invitation to live in the reality of my completed work. You have stepped into a new domain. However, if you persist in carrying the old mindset, the old pace, and the old habits, you will miss out on the abundance that awaits you. Let me guide you on how to embrace this resurrected life, how to awaken each day and acknowledge that my spirit is not something you seek sporadically. It is something you carry within you. You have become a sanctuary, and how you live out this reality will shape the forthcoming season. Commence with your mornings aware of the divine essence you carry with you, not merely as a duty, but as a sacred opportunity. When you wake up each morning, make the conscious choice to prioritize me. Put aside your phone, the demands of the world, and the weight of the day. Take a moment to pause, to breathe deeply, and to call upon my name. Allow my presence to guide you before the noise of the day begins to drown out my voice. This doesn't have to be a lengthy ritual, but it must be genuine. That initial act of surrender creates a space for clarity, for mindfulness, for alignment with my will. This is how you truly embrace resurrection, by starting your day with me. Let my word reclaim its rightful place in your life, not as a religious obligation, but as a source of life-giving sustenance. You have fed for too long on the empty words of the world. Now is the time to recalibrate your spirit, to feast once again on the eternal truths found in my word. Approach it with reverence, not as a task to be checked off a list. Open it slowly, allowing its wisdom to seep into your soul. Meditate on its teachings, allowing them to challenge, comfort, and reshape you. My word is not just information, it is an invitation to intimate interaction with me. Stay immersed in it daily, and you will find your discernment sharpened, your peace restored, and your confidence strengthened. Let prayer become the very atmosphere in which you live, not just a last resort in times of crisis. Communicate with me constantly, sharing your joys, your fears, your uncertainties. In this season of resurrection, be intentional about what captures your attention. Guard your inner world from the chaos of the world around you. Be selective about the voices you allow to shape your sense of identity, purpose, and worth. If it disrupts your peace, it is not from me. Cultivate a hunger for my presence, choosing to be present over striving for perfection. Resurrection and chaos cannot coexist in the same space. Pay attention to the conversations you engage in, the media you consume, the influences you allow into your life. Embrace the ordinary moments, for it is in the routine, in the consistency, that your spiritual roots will deepen, enabling you to withstand the trials that come your way. Do not postpone obedience when I prompt you to act. Trust me, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. Fulfillment awaits those who step out in faith, trusting in my guidance. Your faith will be tested not in the public eye, but in the private moments of decision and surrender, and how you treat people, and how you steward your time, and how you honor my voice even when no one is watching. These are the things that define your character and shape your journey. Stay connected to community, for you were resurrected not only for yourself but for others as well. I have placed people around you for a reason, some to pour into you and some for you to pour into. Don't isolate yourself. Don't withhold your true self. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. Let yourself be known again, for true growth comes from vulnerability and authenticity. Resurrection is deeply personal but never private. Share your journey with others, not your perfection, but your transformation. Let others see how my glory multiplies in your life. You will also be called to lead in small ways. Don't wait for a title or permission. Just be willing to step up when the opportunity arises. I will use your voice in conversations you didn't plan. I will speak through your compassion, your testimony, your listening ear. Stay alert, for you are now my vessel, and I will move through you in ways you never expected. You don't have to know everything, you just have to be available and obedient. When I move through you, you will feel it. The same power that raised me will flow through your words, your presence, your obedience. This is how resurrection becomes your rhythm, through simplicity, surrender, and awareness every day. Not perfect, but present. Not striving, but staying. Not controlling, but trusting. The tomb is behind you now. You are walking in a new kind of life, one that listens, breathes, and reflects the one who rose for you. My child, I want to speak to your identity, to settle something in you now. Resurrection is not just about motion, it's about recognition. See yourself again through my eyes, not through the distortion of pain, delay, disappointment, or comparison. You are not who those things said you were. You are not forgotten, late, broken beyond repair, too much, hard to love, disqualified, invisible, or a disappointment. Those words have tried to define you, but they did not come from me. I see courage in you even when fear tries to hold you back. I see perseverance, not exhaustion. I see tenderness, not weakness. I see sensitivity, not instability. I see someone who kept walking when everything inside them wanted to quit. Someone who let me touch the parts of their life that most people avoid. Someone who doesn't realize how powerful their yes really is. Embrace this truth. Let it become the framework of how you live, breathe, speak, and move forward from this moment. Every time you choose to show up again, to hope again, to trust again, you are making incredible progress in your journey. It's like moving mountains in the spirit, even though you may not always feel it. You have been through the fire, walked through the wilderness, and emerged stronger than before. The trials and tribulations you faced were not meant to break you, but to refine you like gold. Think of yourself as a precious gem that has undergone intense pressure and heat to shine brighter. The version of you that is being raised up now is clearer, truer, and bolder. It's not about being arrogant or performative, but about aligning yourself with who you really are and how you were meant to carry the presence of the divine with quiet authority. It's time for you to stop apologizing for being your true self. You have spent too long playing small and diminishing your voice to fit in with others. You have second-guessed yourself when God has already confirmed your worth and purpose. You were not resurrected to hide or whisper through life, but to own your true identity and calling with peace and holy weight. You don't need to be loud or seek attention to be powerful and anointed. Simply remember who you are and stay close to the one who defines you. That's where your true strength lies, where your wisdom grows, and where your vision remains clear. You don't need to earn belonging or prove your worthiness, for you are already loved and cherished by the divine. God sees you as whole, despite your private struggles and unspoken burdens. You are righteous in their eyes, not because you have fixed yourself, but because of the purpose burning within you. So stop looking at yourself through a broken lens and measuring your worth by how fast you heal or how much you achieve. From this moment onward, walk differently. Embrace your process and growth without the need to explain or convince others. Let your peace, fruit, and stillness speak volumes about the work that has been done within you. You are not behind or late in your journey. You are right on time, guided and supported by the divine every step of the way. They come back with a newfound sense of clarity, compassion, and conviction that shines through every fiber of their being. And now, you feel a stirring within yourself, a readiness to embrace this same transformation. You may not be perfect, but you are willing and prepared to step into this new way of living. So put on your true identity once again, the one that was bestowed upon you long before the world attempted to define you. Embrace the truth that you are beloved, chosen, covered, and called for a higher purpose. Let go of the old molds that never truly fit you, and embrace the person that God has declared you to be. You are not defined by your past mistakes or failures. What matters is who God says you are, and His truth drowns out any lingering doubts or fears. You are not merely a person who has been saved. You are a person who has been sent out with a purpose and a mission. Now that you have rediscovered your true self, it is important to protect and nurture that inner essence. Resurrection is not the end of the journey. It is a new beginning, a fresh start. God did not bring you back to life so that you could continue on the same path that led you astray before. He saved you so that you could live differently, walking in a deeper connection with Him, guided by His Spirit. It is not about trying to meet the world's expectations or striving for perfection. Instead, God invites you to walk alongside Him, to stay in tune with His presence and guidance. Take a moment each morning to center yourself in His love, to acknowledge His presence in your life. Let His word be the foundation of your thoughts and decisions, not the voices of doubt or distraction that surround you. Simplify your prayers, make them real and present. God is not interested in fancy words. He longs for a genuine connection with you. Speak to Him throughout your day, allowing your spirit to remain open to His leading. He will speak to you in unexpected ways, guiding you on your journey of faith and growth. Embrace this new way of living, rooted in your identity as a beloved child of God. Let His truth shape your perspective and guide your steps. Stay close to Him and you will find peace and purpose in every moment. Through thoughts you know didn't come from you, through sudden clarity, through a peace that overrides your anxiety. That's me. Learn to recognize the sound of my presence again. It's not always loud, but it's unmistakably mine. Be intentional about your inner world. In this new season, you must learn to guard the garden of your soul. Some environments may seem harmless but carry subtle toxins. Some conversations may appear neutral, but slowly distort your focus. Ask me to show you what pollutes your peace. Ask me to train your sensitivity. You are not being called to fear culture. You are being called to stay free from compromise. The more clearly you hear me, the quicker you'll recognize what doesn't belong. Let worship be your anchor, not just on Sunday, not just when the music is right, but as a lifestyle. Worship when you feel grateful. Worship when you feel heavy. Worship when there are no words left. There's something about lifting me high even when you feel low. It realigns your heart. It opens space for me to pour in fresh oil. You don't worship because everything makes sense. You worship because I am still worthy. And when your heart learns to do that, your spirit becomes unshakable. Rest too is part of resurrection. You are not meant to live burned out and depleted, running on spiritual fumes. I created rhythm not just for the world, but for you. Rest is not weakness. Rest is wisdom. When you choose rest, you say to your soul, God is in control, not me. Let me lead your pace. Learn to say no without guilt. Learn to pause without fear. When you rest in me, you recover what the world drains. Obedience will keep you aligned, and it must be practiced quickly. I will prompt you in subtle ways. A text to send, a word to speak, a moment to step back, a call to forgive. These small responses matter more than you think. They train your spirit to stay open. They prepare you for the greater steps ahead. When you ignore them, your heart hardens slowly. But when you obey quickly, your discernment sharpens. And in this season, sharp discernment will be your greatest weapon. Surround yourself with people who protect your growth. You don't need a crowd. You need connection. People who know how to remind you of what I said when your emotions forget. People who carry me in, the way they speak, the way they listen, the way they love. And if you don't have that yet, ask me. I will send the right ones, not perfect ones, aligned ones. You weren't created to walk this resurrection alone. Above all, stay near. Don't wait until you feel desperate. Don't wait until you're drowning. Don't wait until another crash happens. Stay close now. Keep your hearts soft. Keep your ears open. Keep your hands willing. This is what it looks like to live resurrected. Not just breathing, but abiding. Not just alive, but in rhythm with the one who raised you. My child, hear me clearly now. The time you've been praying for is already beginning. In this life journey, it is essential to pay attention to the subtle signs and signals that come from a higher power. These messages can manifest in various ways, such as sudden realizations, moments of peace amidst chaos, or a deep sense of knowing that transcends logical reasoning. It is crucial to cultivate awareness and discernment to recognize and heed these divine messages, as they can guide us towards alignment with our true purpose and protect us from influences that may lead us astray. For example, consider the analogy of tending to the garden of your soul. Just as a garden requires regular care and attention to thrive, our inner world also needs nurturing and protection from harmful influences. Some environments and conversations may appear harmless on the surface but can slowly erode our inner peace and clarity. By asking for guidance to identify and remove these toxic elements, we can create a sacred space within ourselves where our spirit can flourish and grow. Furthermore, the practice of worship serves as a powerful anchor in our spiritual journey. It is not limited to formal religious practices but extends to a way of life where we express gratitude, seek solace in times of difficulty, and surrender control to a higher power. By elevating our thoughts and emotions through worship, we invite fresh energy and perspective into our lives, reinforcing our connection to the divine and strengthening our resilience in the face of challenges. Rest, too, plays a vital role in our spiritual renewal. In a world that glorifies busyness and productivity, it is essential to prioritize self-care and replenishment. By acknowledging our limitations and honoring the need for rest, we signal to our soul that we trust in a higher plan and pace beyond our own understanding. Obedience to the subtle prompts and nudges from the divine can sharpen our intuition and prepare us for greater challenges ahead, ensuring that we stay aligned with our true path and purpose. Surrounding ourselves with supportive and nurturing relationships is also crucial in our journey toward spiritual growth. By seeking out connections that reflect and reinforce the divine presence, we create a community of like-minded individuals who can uplift and guide us on our path. These aligned relationships serve as a source of strength and encouragement, reminding us of our true values and helping us navigate the complexities of life with grace and wisdom. Ultimately, living a resurrected life requires a commitment to staying close to the divine presence, even in moments of doubt or despair. By cultivating a receptive heart, an open mind, and a willing spirit, we prepare ourselves to receive the blessings and guidance that await us on this transformative journey. As we heed the call to align with our true purpose and stay attuned to the subtle whispers of the divine, we step into a new season of growth, renewal, and fulfillment. The awaited shift you have been longing for, the answer that has been lingering in your mind, the release that you have been questioning if you missed, it is already in motion. This is not just any ordinary transition, but a divine unveiling of what has been prepared for you all along. You may have felt the discomfort, the unusual sensitivity, the inner tension in your spirit. These are all signs that heaven has already shifted around you. Your life is on the verge of catching up to what has already been spoken over you. You have been in a process longer than you anticipated, obedient without seeking validation, growing roots in silence, serving while still mending yourself. The weight of waiting with grace has not gone unnoticed. The waiting is now coming to an end, Doors are opening, alignment is happening, and the things that seemed delayed are now being propelled forward by divine wind. You may have thought that you were being held back, but in reality, you were being held in place until the foundations were strong enough to support what is about to be released. Prepare yourself to walk through the doors that were prepared for you when it seemed like God was silent. Be ready for sudden moments, unexpected calls, shifting conversations, and doors opening before you can even comprehend why. This is not sudden to him, for these are the moments orchestrated for a time such as this. The trials you faced, the relationships that fell away, the closed doors, they were all part of a bigger plan to protect the anointing, preserve the purity, and guard the oil within you. You are now being entrusted with a new weight on your voice, not in terms of volume, but in the spirit behind your words. Your obedience and tested posture have prepared you for the authority that will be felt in your presence. No need to push or campaign for doors to open, for what is from God will recognize you, and what is assigned to you will find you with peace. However, be mindful that not everything that comes your way is meant for you. This season will require wisdom, discernment, and staying close to His voice. Let peace be your confirmation. Let discernment guide you, and clarity and stillness be your compass. Trust that God will not speak through pressure or anxiety, but through peace and quiet assurance. In the uncomfortable transitions, in the stretching and the unfamiliar territories, know that He will be with you in every step. He will confirm your direction and cover your blind spots. There is no need for striving in His presence, no room for panic in His will. If you feel the need to force something, it is not from Him. Trust that He will give you peace, even in the midst of uncertainty, knowing that you will not be destroyed, but led to greater heights. And when you feel unqualified, I will remind you, you didn't call yourself. I called you. You are stepping into fulfillment, not just of personal dreams, but of divine design. What you carry is needed. What I placed in you will answer cries you haven't even heard yet. This next season is not just about breakthrough, it's about impact. And yes, the enemy sees it. That's why the warfare intensified before this word reached you. That's why your thoughts were louder, your emotions were fragile, your old patterns tried to resurface. But now you see it for what it was, a last attempt to keep you stuck at the edge of your own resurrection. But He lost. You're here. You're alive. You're listening. And you're ready. And what I'm about to do in your life cannot be stopped, because it didn't begin with you, it began with me. And what I start, I finish. You're going to be surprised by what begins to move. Things that felt heavy will become light. Conversations you feared will unfold with grace. Ideas you shelved will come alive again. Relationships will be restored. Provision will come without manipulation. Vision will expand. You'll sense my breath on the things you almost buried. Because I'm not done resurrecting the rest of what's in you. This wasn't just about you surviving. This was about you rising into fullness. So walk with expectation, not hype. Holy expectation. Eyes open, spirit alert, heart soft. I'm about to show you why I said not yet for so long. I'm about to show you what I was building while you were in the dark. The oil is about to flow. The timing is aligned. The path is ready. The light is green. My beloved, now that I've spoken, now that the word has stirred and the shift has begun, I want you to stop striving. Breathe. This is not a moment for movement. This is a moment for encounter. You've heard me. You've received. Now, let me come closer. Let me go deeper. Not to teach, not to instruct, but to transform. This is where I move. Not just around you, but in you. This is not another revelation. It is relationship unfolding in real time. You don't have to do anything right now. You don't need the right words, the perfect posture, the right song in the background. I'm not waiting for your performance, I'm waiting for your permission. Just open. Just allow, just be present. I know how long you've been carrying weight. I know how much of your heart you've managed quietly. I know how you've compartmentalized your pain and function through your fatigue. And I honor how strong you've been. But this is the place where strength is no longer required. This is the place where my spirit begins to carry what you were never meant to hold. Let me into the places you've kept hidden, not because you didn't want me there, but because they've hurt for so long, you forgot what they felt like. Let me touch the fear, the insecurity, the guilt that still whispers from the corners of your soul. I am not afraid of your mess. I'm not shocked by what you've buried. I've seen it all and still said, I want to live here. As you continue on this journey, remember that you are not alone. I am with you every step of the way, guiding and supporting you. Trust in my plan for your life, for I have great things in store for you. Embrace the transformation that is taking place within you, for it is leading you towards a brighter future filled with purpose and fulfillment. So, let go of your fears and insecurities, and allow my love to penetrate every part of your being. Together, we will walk into the fullness of what I have designed for you. I have chosen your heart as my home, and now I am rearranging everything that doesn't belong with gentle presence and love. My spirit is already moving through you, bringing warmth, stillness, and a sense of weightlessness. You may feel a release you didn't expect, a lifting of tension from your shoulders, and a relaxing of your nervous system. This is where the breath of God fills what once felt hollow, where your chest opens up and your jaw unclenches. I am peeling expectations and labels off of you, healing the emotional residue of past pain so that you can walk in freedom. I am touching trauma gently but decisively, removing its authority over your identity. My voice is louder now, my presence stronger, and my spirit is enough to heal and fill you with joy. You haven't felt joy in a long time, but now I am releasing eternal joy that settles in and stays. I am awakening your spiritual senses, increasing your sensitivity to my spirit so that you can discern shifts in a room and hear me in conversations. You are not just being filled for yourself, but to overflow and impact the world around you. You are becoming a carrier of my spirit, someone whose shadow brings peace and whose voice calms storms. You speak life without needing a stage, and you are my vessel because you have yielded. This is who you really are in my presence, the true version of yourself that is filled with peace, power, and my spirit. The version that doesn't need to prove, perform, or pretend is the version of you that is whole, quiet, soft, and still. It is the version that feels like home, where you find your baseline, your center. In moments when you feel yourself drifting away, there is no need to panic. Just come back to this place, where you are always welcome. I am here, always waiting for you. My spirit doesn't simply visit you from time to time, he lives within you. He is your source of peace in times of turmoil, your guide when you are confused, your rest when you are exhausted, your voice in moments of silence, and your fire in times of stillness. This encounter is not just a passing message. This is the message that you needed to hear, to feel, to experience. I am not rushing, I am not finished with you. This is where your transformation begins, not through force, but through fullness. Everything I have spoken to you, poured into you, healed and awakened within you, I now place in your hands. It is not something fragile that you need to protect out of fear, but something alive, holy, meant to be carried by you. You are not the same person you once were. You have been reborn, lifted from the grave of old habits and narratives that kept you small. What I have done within you is real, and now you must walk forward with the awareness that you have risen. You don't have to rush. Just take one step at a time. fully aware of the one you carry within you. You are marked now, not by pain or shame or fear, but by glory, a quiet, weighty glory that comes from resurrection. You are not called to impress others, but to be aligned with your true self. You are not called to be perfect, but to be present in each moment. Let go of the fear of the unknown and trust in me. Stay near, open, surrendered. Others will notice the change in you, and not all of them will understand it. That's okay. You were not called to be understood. You were called to be faithful. Let me handle the rest. Trust in my guidance as I lead you through each room, each moment, each step of your future. Remain in me, abide in my presence, and watch as the doors meant to open respond to my hand. Your part is simple. Abide. Others will be drawn to the light within you, and those meant to walk alongside you will find their way. Stay faithful. Stay aligned. And let me show you the movements of my grace and power in your life. You are not alone on this journey. Trust in me, and I will lead you into the fullness of your purpose and destiny. Don't lower your light to stay in comfortable spaces. Don't shrink to maintain peace with what I've already called you out of. You are rising now, and it's time to embrace that ascent fully and unapologetically. Your resurrection is not just a personal event. It's a divine calling that beckons you to step into your true purpose and potential. Imagine yourself stepping into a new chapter of your life, leaving behind the shadows of doubt and fear that once held you back. With each step forward, you are shedding the weight of insecurity and embracing the light of your own inner strength. This journey is not one you take alone. It's a journey guided by a higher power that believes in your worth and your ability to shine. As you walk into your future, let the lessons of your past shape your steps, and the wisdom of your experiences guide your decisions. Speak with the confidence of someone who has overcome silence and found their voice. Love without reservation or hesitation, knowing that you are enough just as you are. You are free from the constraints of self-doubt and insecurity. You are filled with the light of endless possibilities and potential. You are claimed by a power greater than yourself, one that will never abandon you or cease to guide you. This moment is just the beginning of a new chapter in your life's journey. Embrace it with open arms and a fearless heart. Let the words of empowerment and encouragement resonate within you, shaping your every thought and action. And remember, this transformation is not just for you alone. Share the light of your resurrection with others who may still be trapped in their own tombs of despair and self-doubt. Let your journey inspire and uplift those around you, showing them that there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Stay close to the source of your strength, remain open to the possibilities that lie ahead, and be ready to receive the blessings that await you. The journey of resurrection is ongoing, a continuous process of growth and evolution. Embrace it, cherish it, and continue to walk forward with faith and courage. The voice of encouragement and empowerment will never fall silent. It will always be there to guide you, to uplift you, and to remind you of your inherent worth and potential. So rise up, embrace your true self, and let your light shine brightly for all the world to see. Amen. In a world that often defines us by our past, failures, or silence, this powerful message from the heart of God reminds us of an unchanging truth. You are still chosen, still wanted, still seen. Through a deeply personal and compassionate tone, God speaks to the weary soul, those who have walked through spiritual numbness, hidden pain, unanswered prayers, and years of silent suffering, and breathes new life into what felt buried. This isn't just a poetic encouragement, it's a divine wake-up call. Resurrection is not simply a historical event celebrated once a year. it is a living, breathing invitation to walk in renewed identity, healed purpose, and spirit-led rhythm. God doesn't call the perfect, He calls the willing. And His voice doesn't come through pressure or performance, but through presence, peace, and alignment. Whether you've felt disqualified, too broken, forgotten, or stuck in cycles of almost healing, this message declares that you're not late, you're right on time. It's not just about surviving pain, but discovering the quiet glory on the other side. The tomb is behind you. Now it's time to live aligned, filled, and ready, not with hype, but holy expectation. Let this be your resurrection moment, not just inspiration for today, but the foundation of a new rhythm for your future. God got up so you could rise fully, without apology, without delay. Thank you for joining us today on Heaven Voice Today. If this message touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, God speaks every day. You just have to listen. Come back tomorrow for more reflections from His heart to yours. Stay blessed, stay faithful, and keep listening to the voice of heaven. See you in the next video.